base weekend. I didn't play any DFS. I personally, I had a good Friday, the first day back. So hopefully we keep it going in the right direction. Sheets, talk a little bit about your weekend, and then we'll get into the slate.
Yeah, DFS wise, I did some okay in some sports, no, not so great in baseball. Then I get like eighth in like lottery and golf for like 8,000, which was good. So overall, like probably broke about even over the weekend, I guess. And ready to get after. For those of you that are true degenerates, you guys know that the NASCAR race was postponed yesterday and it's starting now. So make sure that you have sweat that. And just a heads up, I didn't even look at the schedule, but I looked at my schedule and I can do a live sweat tomorrow evening. It's one night that actually it's the one night that Stacey's going to be out in the Hamptons and I'm going to be here. So I will I'll be able to do that. So hopefully there's a good schedule that we can make that work. And that also means, by the way, that if you wanted to do like a meeting tomorrow, I could be around for that also. So I know you got your own stuff going on over there, so we'll just figured I'd throw it out there. Yeah, but I'm ready to get after today's slate. Nice 10-game slate. What you did miss over the weekend, by the way, was every day was like all kinds of like weather issues and weather sweats, and it turns out that I don't think anything got postponed. But what it ended up doing was like making these pitchers that were going to be like 60% owned, like 5, because people thought they were getting it rained out. It was It was pretty funny. Let me see today. Today is what? Here we go. Well, not that bad. We got a couple of oranges, but
yeah, the Pittsburgh and Cincinnati games look like a little risky, but everything else feels very playable.
Yeah.
All right, but let's pull up your screen and we'll go game by game here. I'm guessing that the first one that you're going to start off with, well, actually, it could be either.
You never know. It's always a mystery.
It's always a mystery. Yeah, I have the Dodgers first, but
I have Cleveland, Pittsburgh first.
There you have it. Naturally. This is one of the games with weather concerns, for what it's worth. And it does look like it's something that we're going to have to revisit again at 6 Eastern. But look, if it plays at 75 degrees, it's really humid in Pittsburgh. I think that you could certainly take a shot on either of these.
Hang just 1 second.
All right, as Sheets goes and does that, I just say, I don't particularly feel like they're priorities, either of these stacks. And I don't feel like I would have any interest in the pitching. So I'm probably off this game whether it plays or not, personally. Looks like Sheets is out. But so I'm probably going to be off the Pittsburgh Cleveland game. I just don't see any reason, especially if the weather is still considerably dangerous. I do think if I had to stack one side of it, I like the idea of stacking Cleveland better, but I'm again probably not going to go that direction. Always very awkward when I get left on these last minute shows here. All right, let's move over to the Dodgers in Baltimore.
I'm back. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. All right. I was just saying I don't have a terrible amount of interest.
Well, I have a little something actually in this game. Okay. Not a big deal, but I do have Pittsburgh as okay value on DraftKings. I made like a list of just my favorite stacks and also kind of these value plays. And I did have Pittsburgh rated as one of 3 value stacks. So I don't know if the game plays or doesn't play, and it's certainly not huge priority for me, but I figured I wouldn't leave the game without at least mentioning it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that actually I realized, like you got Choi at 24 and Davis at 2,600. So then all the other guys are 2K. Yeah, I could see an argument for that for sure. All right, Dodgers in Baltimore. Sheets, what do you have for this one?
Yeah, so I'll let you talk about the Ed Sheehan. I'm not getting to, at least early, to either of these pitchers, and boy, I would think that, a game in Baltimore with some decent hitters, I would figure to want to play something, but I'm not really seeing it. If anything, I have Baltimore and Dodgers rated as kind of secondary kind of pivot stacks. It's not even, I don't even know who I'm pivoting off of. It's not like there's going to be a huge chalk today, I don't think. But Baltimore and then the Dodgers I have as kind of secondary stacks, and I'm not getting to any of the pitchers, at least the first glance.
Yeah, this is interesting because like Grayson Rodriguez is a really talented young pitcher, but he's been just getting rocked. I mean, a little bit. Like he's giving up tons of home runs, tons of hard contact. If he has any trouble finding the zone at all against this Dodger team, I feel like it's a I don't know. It could be the stack of the night. So I'll play the Dodgers in 90-degree weather in Baltimore, with some wind blowing out to left center. But again, it's not that I disrespect Rodriguez. I just think some of these young guys are going to have trouble with these kinds of lineups, and I'll gamble with the Dodgers a little bit tonight for sure. Sheehan, I don't think I'm going to get to tonight. If he was a little cheaper, I might take a shot or two, but overall, I'll play him in the future, but it's probably not going to be the night where I play him. I do like the Dodgers stack, though. I'm going to prioritize at least getting some exposure to the Dodgers.
Okay.
All right. Moving forward to Cincinnati and San Francisco. I believe this is also a weather game. I'm just double checking yes. It doesn't look like it's like that. It looks like it might be a little bit better than the Pittsburgh game, but both of them seem a little risky. Anyway, still nice hitting weather again. I think that the Giants are a completely reasonable stack. I'm not going to stack against Logan Webb. I don't do it. And I'm also not going to play Logan Webb at 10-8 against a pretty talented Cincinnati lineup. So I do think that the Giants are in play. And as always, when the Giants are facing a lefty, just beware of pinch hitters and feel safer with the lefties that start the game. But I definitely think the Giants are one of the stacks that are going to be fairly obvious tonight.
Yeah, I have San Francisco as the top overall stack on both DraftKings and FanDuel. And as you know, the baseball gods would have it, this is the game that carries the most weather risk. So we'll have to see where that plays out. I have Logan Webb as kind of a secondary, not secondary, kind of like my second tier pitchers below my first guy on DraftKings, and I don't really have him on FanDuel. So that's where I'm at. It's a tough park to take pitchers, honestly. So I don't know if I'm going to get there. So I'm going to look to play San Francisco if I can, if they play the game. Otherwise, if I get to Logan Webb, I'll play some of him, but I'm not going to prioritize.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right. Miami and St. Louis. Sheets, why don't you start this one off?
I don't know why I'm not getting to Luzardo, only because I just always seem to play him. But right now, I'm not really seeing him as one of my options. As far as the hitting goes, well, I don't want to play Nicolas, but maybe I should. But I don't have him listed. And then as far as the hitting goes, I have St. Louis on DraftKings and Miami actually, as again kind of like that second / 2.5 tier of stack. So I'll play some St. Louis, I'll play some Miami. Seems kind of weird to play anybody against Luzardo. Maybe I have more respect for Luzardo than some people. I think he's really good, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm not getting to Luzardo at this price, but I do think that Nicolas is more in play maybe than he's going to get credit for here. They had the game that got canceled after 3 innings the other day that he started. I think that he could actually put a good outing together against this Marlins team. It's just maybe a little bit of a fringy play, but at no ownership, I don't mind taking a shot on Nicolas. Good hitting weather as everywhere else is. Apparently, it's really hot everywhere, but good hitting weather in St. Louis. So I am probably I'm not doing any stacking, but I do think Nicolas is an option. All right, moving on to what do you have next? The Cubs, right?
Nope. I have Tampa, Texas.
All right, why don't you start out Tampa, Texas then? My bad.
What do we have here? I don't know what they're going to be doing with McClanahan. I don't know whether he gets full run or whatever, but I don't think I can risk that. I'm not going to be playing him. I am looking at Dunning as just off of my list. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 6 guys as like guys I want to play, and actually maybe 7. And Dunning is just the next guy that I would play. He's very, very cheap. And yet, on the other hand, I do have Tampa as also kind of like a secondary, like the second tier of stacks I might want to play also. So I don't know. Nothing really is a priority for me in this game.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. Nothing a priority for me either. By the way, Dunning, like he almost got a complete game not long ago, which is so funny because he's limited in general in terms of pitches. They don't usually let him go high, but he finally threw 100 pitches. They pulled him at 100 exactly after at 8 and 2.
It's like the anti-Yankees, right? It's like
yeah, but it's pretty funny. So I actually think Dunning is completely viable here. I have him as a totally viable option.
This dude is one batter away from I imagine his first complete game shutout.
I'm sure.
With an 8-run lead, and they can't let him face one more batter.
I know, and he's having a great season. By the way, he's really been good. Just in real life, like he doesn't strike out a ton of guys, so it's not great for DFS all the time. But like he's been really, really good.
I gotta tell you, man, just looking at this line score, it really does reinforce like how awesome it is to play like righty pitchers against Detroit. It really is.
Yeah, it's true. All right, wait. So next up, you have the Cubs, right?
Yeah. I finally have the Cubs. Yes.
I'm finally with the Cubs. All right. I actually think that it's a little bit surprising to me that the Cubs have this high of a run total. They've been a really good offense. I understand, like there's some argument for it, but Mackenzie Gore, I still believe in the talent level. I actually think this is probably just a stay away game for me personally.
Yeah, I have Gore as one of my guys. I have him as one of my top 7. I was going to ask you about the wind one way or the other. But as long as the wind's not blowing out like in Wrigley style, I'll try this. And I was hoping, actually, I don't think you were going to give me Smiley because we don't like to play pitchers against Washington nowadays.
Lefties are a little better against Washington. Still.
So I'm gonna say that I think Smiley's a good secondary option too. He's not my top 7, but he's like on the next group. But I definitely have Gore rated actually pretty high. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw Gore in there and definitely none of the hitting.
Yeah, I definitely can see the argument for both. And I probably would be more on the Gore side. I'm trying to figure out what happened his last start. It was the rain delay game. That's right. Because he only pitched an inning and a third, and I couldn't figure out why. All right, moving on. Next up, Kansas City and Detroit. And for me, this is an interesting one. I actually think that Matt Manning is a pretty good option. And I could see an argument for Jordan Lyles, even at 5,600. I also could see an argument for a Detroit stack. And I wouldn't even mind the KC stack. So I really see all four elements as being viable. What I probably end up doing is playing some Manning and a Detroit stack. I don't think I'm going to be as high on the KC stack.
I have KC Detroit rated 1-2 as far as DraftKings, just pure value. Mm-hmm. I have Detroit rated 2nd on FanDuel just as far as pure value. And I have that instinct that you have with respect to these pitchers also, that both these teams are just atrocious. And KC, they're coming off. I mean, they went after what's his name yesterday. I mean, they beat the crap out of somebody. It's not that bad. I mean, they put up like 6 runs in like 2 seconds in yesterday's game. So coming off of that, even more to the point. I think Manning at 6,800 pretty viable. So it's one of those Detroit KC games where the pitching stinks, the hitting stinks, and probably it all makes for a good GPP play.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, moving on to the Angels. I guess I'll go with the Angels and Yankees real quick. I'm not getting to the pitching. I think that you could make an argument for Severino here. Like, I understand he hasn't, this has obviously been a very, very poor season for him, but I still think that just the talent level at the price is that's sort of how I feel about a lot of pitchers today. I just realized Severino, Manning, Gore, Dunning, Mikolas. These are not guys who I'm thrilled to be my pitchers, but that's where I'm at right now. And that's pretty much all I have. I'm not really that interested in the hitting in this game. I understand, like, if you don't take the other side of the Severino thing, you've got some cheap Angels bats that make a stack really easy to play. But I actually I think I might side with Severino a little bit here.
Yeah. I'm sort of on the other side of this. Well, not me. I mean, I show the Angels as being like a really good stack here.
Yeah.
Both on DraftKings and on FanDuel. And I'm not getting to the Yankees at all, but I am getting to some Canning as kind of like one of my 7 pitchers. So I'm kind of on the anti-Yankees. At least at this hour. But it's one of those things that feels wrong for just kind of the reason that you said. It's that, yeah, I know that the numbers are kind of just pointing you in that direction, but Severino is just kind of better than this. You know what I mean? I don't know, can't really prove it, but I just kind of know it's the case.
Right.
So to go after like Griffin to play Griffin Canning and attack Luis Severino just seems wrong. But that's where I have right now. Right now, I have Canning as one of my top 7 pitchers, and I have the Angels one of the top stacks.
Yep. I'm gonna have to revisit that one a little later because I'm having a hard time to the idea of stacking. I just always have a hard time stacking against the Yankees, and just like as a concept, especially outside of Yankee Stadium. But all right. Moving over to Boston and Oakland, I think Pivetta is another one of these pitchers that are cheap and obviously in a good matchup.
Wait! I have the other game.
Oh, you have the other one?
Minnesota, Seattle. Yeah.
So stupid. I don't understand why.
Oh, DraftKings. I don't know what else to do. I mean,
it's not yours. No, it's stupid that SaberSim doesn't have the same thing. It should just emulate it like this, like, you know what I mean? The same way that it's written on DraftKings. It's just I don't know why they don't have it the same. Anyway, all right. Minnesota, Seattle. For me, I prefer Gilbert over Gray. I think both are totally viable, and I don't think you have to play either of them. If I had to pick one, it'd be Gilbert. I think I probably will end up below the field on Gilbert, but because I don't need to actually, some of these stacks that I like aren't that expensive. I may just play him because I have enough money to. But as of right now, yeah, he does look like one of the best options, possibly the best option on the slate. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I have him as the top overall play on the slate. I think he's going to be probably, I would imagine, I mean, the most popular by a lot, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to be. I think he's going to be like 50% owned plus in the big buy-ins. And he's got a good matchup against Minnesota, and he's my favorite. That's best I could describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny Gray, I am not getting to. Every time I play anybody against Seattle, I lose anyway. So I'm glad I'm not getting to him. I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, you have any hitting in here or no?
No, not for me. Okay. All right, now I'll jump. I guess actually this is the last one, so I think we need you to go first on this, the Oakland and Boston game.
Yeah, I'll go first. I like Pivetta. I think you were getting to that just a couple of seconds ago when you thought we were going over this game. So I like Pivetta, and I like Boston. I have Boston as one of the top stacks on DraftKings and on FanDuel, and I have Pivetta as one of the 7 pitchers I have. I actually have him rated number 2 overall, given price and everything like that. So I'm not sure if that's where you were headed with this, but that's what I like, Pivetta and Boston.
Yeah, I have no interest in Boston, but I do like Pivetta. It's just the Boston stack definitely makes sense. Like if you just look at it, the run total is high. The offense is good against a bad pitcher. The fact that they're so low owned, maybe I do need to revisit it. It's just such a huge park downgrade. I always try to eliminate those, but it's a 10-game slate that may play as an 8-gamer, depending on what happens with the other 2 games. So I certainly can understand the argument for Boston, especially at low ownership. I'm having a hard time believing they'll be this low owned. But I do like Pivetta. Pivetta is my interest. I don't think I'm going to play Boston. And I also actually think that if you're going to get contrarian on this slate, that playing some Oakland cheapies would be It'd be an interesting value team to use in your non-Pavetta lineups. All right, so my favorite stacks are San Francisco, Detroit, and the Dodgers. My favorite pitching is, I think, Gilbert, Pavetta, Manning, Gore, but I'm also considering Dunning, Mikolas, and Severino. But I think that Gilbert, Pavetta would probably be my two favorite as of right now. Sheets, what about you?
I have Gilbert number 1, and then I have Pavetta, Gore, Canning, and then just on the outside looking in, I mentioned Logan Webb, and then just barely off of that is Sonny Gray. As far as stacks go on DraftKings, San Fran, Angels, and Boston, then some values: Pittsburgh, KC, and Detroit. And if I had a couple of pivots, it would be Baltimore and the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
On FanDuel, Gilbert, and then Pavetta, and then a ton. And then as far as hitting goes, San Fran, Angels again, Boston again. But I'll throw in Seattle on FanDuel.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, we will see you at 6 Eastern. I will get my stuff up probably early this afternoon because I've got to run out after this for a little bit. But let's make some money today, and good luck, everybody.